Welcome back to the podcast. I am joined by Stephen Wong, owner of Aquabest, one of the biggest seafood distributors, certainly in the area in New York. One of the big dogs, hopefully,
yeah.
And welcome. Thank you for being here.
Of course, thank you.
What is your origin story for being a tycoon of seafood?
Tycoon.
A tycoon. Are you? You're not a tycoon.
Well, I mean, I do a lot of seafood. I'm trying to be modest here. But it's a family business. So,
Sure.
like when I was when we were young, I was 8. My father passed away, and then my mom took over. Well, my mom actually started the business.
And what was it originally?
It was a really small mom and pop shop in the Lower East Side. It was like walking distance from the old Fulton Fish Market. We were poor, so my mom started thinking about stuff that she would like to eat when she was growing up in Asia and China. So she started bringing things that were like kind of similar and servicing the Asian community in Chinatown. So we started from there, and I was working since I was like 8 and a half. So
Really?
yeah, for sure.
Wow.
And
And this wasn't distribution. This was just a retail store.
it was just a retail store.
And what were you doing as a?
Like you finish school, and then afterwards, we would buy like a conch, like a scungili. It's just like an Italian thing, and then we would have to like shuck it, and then we would have to clean it, and we'll pack into little boxes so we can sell for later on, and we'll freeze it. So, from like 2:30 on until like 11 o'clock at night, you will have to work. I mean, we're poor. You got to do what you got to do. It was fun.
It was fun.
If you want to call it, yeah.
You were working there all throughout high school.
Oh no! After that, in like 13, we got a place in Martha's Vineyard, but it was not like a house or anything. It wasn't like what you see in Martha's Vineyard now. It was pretty non-commercialized back then. 13 years old, it's like pack your bags. It was the last day of school, and I would stay there from basic end of June all the way to the day before school starts.
Yeah.
And I would have to like work with the fishermen.
How did that happen?
We started like producing or manufacture like conch or whelk. That's the scungili, and we were exported into Asia. So
Wait, what?
yeah.
What? How? Okay. Wait. How did you realize? Did your mom or your dad realize there was a market? Or sorry, your mom realized?
Yeah, because my mom.
Because your dad wasn't
my
around.
dad passed away
Yeah.
already, so my mom figured out this was something that she ate when she was younger, but we found a resource here in America that was some sort of underutilized, and so we started sending it back in the 80s and 90s. So we were
your
one of the
mom
first,
was the
yeah.
first person to do distribution?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Most people think it's like my father. Or, no, it's my mom is the lady. Yeah.
No, I didn't even know anything.
Yeah.
I didn't even have the opportunity to be sexist because I didn't even know this story existed. Okay, so she, I mean, how did she find someone? So she found someone in Martha's Vineyard who was, I guess, cultivating.
No, it's all wild. So
It's all wild?
It's you have to like go to the fishermen, and you start finding out where your sources are, where you buy from. So before that, Martha's Vineyard, we buy from like a middleman, and then when your middleman starts, either they retire or they say I don't want to do it no more, then you go over there and you find out. So we found that over there was a big resource for scungili or conch, and we were buying from there. So from 13 on, I was just there every summer. When I was 13, I was like, not fully developed yet. I'm like 120 pounds, but
Sure. I didn't go through puberty till like, honestly, like 17, 16. Yeah.
But yeah, fishermen will put you into the hoops and say,
Fishermen will put you through puberty. Yeah.
They're like, oh, you're 120 pounds. Oh, can you lift that? The thing was like 110 pounds, but
And were they Chinese? No.
no,
Yeah.
all American. I was like one of the like two Chinese people over there.
What were they like? Were they cool to you?
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
But fishermen is like a little weird thing. You gotta test you. They're gonna make you. You can't be like one of them until like you pass all the tests. You gotta be like work hard. You gotta be strong. You gotta be smart. You gotta be punctual. All that stuff.
Yeah. Did you want to go over to Martha's Vineyard to start to learn the thing, or just like?
No, you're 13. This was before cell phones,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
everything was like.
This was before decision making.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is like AOL time, so you have to do dial up. It's like there's no phone, there's nothing. You just kind of go there and you're like by yourself.
Yeah. Were you scared when you went over at first?
First time? Oh yeah. I mean, you're a kid. You never know. I was born and raised in the city, so and to travel like 5 hours to another island where like you don't know anybody, it's pretty scary.
How did she tell you were going to do it? Like, was she just like, "Hey, Steven, by the way, this summer you're going to be going to Martha's Vineyard to work for a bunch of fishermen"?
Yep. There was no discussion. You just go. But it was good. I mean, it's a great learning experience.
Of course,
the fishermen,
it's like the military.
yeah,
It's like
the fishermen took me and they taught me a lot of stuff. Like skinny kid. So by the second year, I had to start lifting a lot of stuff, and you bulk up, you become pretty strong. And then by the end of the second year, I started lifting like 125 pounds over my head as like a 14-year-old kid. It was pretty cool. And then you start learning stuff from the fishermen, so they'll take me out to the ocean and start like, this is how you look at the charts, this is how you look at the seas and the moon and all the techniques that they start fishing from. So
Yeah.
I learned from a really young age commercial fishing.
Do you remember what it was like when they first accepted you?
Pretty much. I mean, it's like it's an unspoken thing.
Sure.
That's where I first learned how to go, smoke cigarettes. Cigarettes and coffee
Yeah.
on a boat is sort of like your standard thing, and you become like a Marlboro man. Like you start smoking Marlboro Reds when you go there. When they start teaching you, and if not everybody wants to go fishing. So when you put a passion into it, start want to talk to them about why this or why that and how this, they kind of take you under the wing and they'll teach you everything that they probably couldn't teach anybody else. So it was pretty good. I mean,
How many summers did you do that for?
probably like 8 summers probably. Yeah.
And was your mom living on Martha's Vineyard with you?
No.
So why did your mom decide that you should be out learning or on the boat rather than working in the store?
Probably life experience, maybe. I mean, one, it's free labor, right? That's one of the things with family businesses. You just got to do what you have to do. But maybe she wanted me to learn like a lot of stuff that you're not able to learn in the city. Learn to be on your own. That's a big thing.
Yeah. I mean, that's a really valuable parenting lesson that's, I think, lost a lot now. It's not easy to do that. Like, it's not easy to...
No, everyone gets coddled a little bit more.
Yeah. Okay, so that boat was specifically fishing for the
conch. Yeah, I
for the
mean,
conch.
they'll do conch. They'll catch sea bass. They'll catch porgies. They'll catch like a lot of other stuff.
How was it? But you guys didn't own the boat, right?
No, we worked.
So
with a
how
lot
was
of
it? How was it free labor? Like, she would save some money on the conch because you were working for them?
No, it's like I will. This is a little twofold, right? One, they will teach me when I'm free, I'll go on the boats. But realistically, we will buy from like 10 to 15 boats, and then we will store them, and then we'll truck it down to New York for processing.
Got it.
It's like almost like a buying station.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Oh, so you weren't on the boats all the time?
Not all the time, but a lot of the times. But every day you'll meet up with fishermen. I was like 15. I would drive a pickup truck, and then and then you just go there and you load up one by one, and then you come back. You gotta wait it, but every day you'll come back at the radio call, marine radio call. They're like, hey, I'm coming back at 2:30. Come meet me at the dock, and I'll meet them at the dock. And then you have to do the culling and sorting and stuff like that. But they come back every day. Like, how your day go? You have your banter for like 5-10 minutes.
So did you learn banter?
Oh yeah, you learn fishermen talk really quickly, and then as I grow up and I travel around the world, you see that everyone has the same sort of speech and kind of banter. So you can kind of talk to any fisherman around the world in the same manner, and they know that you're from you're a fisherman.
Do you remember being in school after going to work? And Martha, like, did you feel different? Like you were doing something different than all the other kids?
Definitely. I mean, you go back to school. One, I was super strong. Like,
Yeah, you'd fuck some people up.
Yeah, you're pretty strong because it's just hard labor, manual hard labor.
Yeah.
Two, like people were like, oh, I went to play basketball this summer. I went to play video games. No idea what's going on. You just like lost. All you have is like, regular TV.
Yeah.
And that was it. There was no internet realistically, from then.
Were you upset that you were doing that at the time, or did you grow to like it?
At the time, yeah. You didn't like it. I mean, it was hard. Like, I guess it's like a kid living somewhere else. You gotta make new friends, and then like you come back and you lose your friends again. So you make friends up there in Martha's Vineyard, and most of my friends were either fishermen or fishermen's kids.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's all I saw, because you work 7 days a week.
Right.
And the only time you get off, if it gets like a hurricane or storm for like 2 days. If it's just rain one day, you have a lot of stuff to do. You never finish.
Right. So you need 2 days of
Yes,
weather.
you need 2 days, and that's like very, very rare.
So then, how did you guys evolve from the conch into other seafood?
Oh,
Just slowly?
Slowly. Like
Yeah.
we were doing lobsters for a little bit. And then from our dealer, which was sold us lobster, he's like, hey, I'm getting old. You want to buy my business? So we bought him. And then he showed us where he bought his lobsters. And then actually that gentleman, for after a year, says, hey, you know what, you want to buy my business? And then we went up all the way to Canada. And then we bought a lobster farm or a lobster company in Canada. So it kind of like vertical integration. And then I started learning how to work with like fishermen, lobster fishermen, which is completely different from conch fishermen.
Why?
Different mentality. It's a lot more cutthroat, if you want to call it. Like it's pretty hard.
A lot more competition.
A lot more competition. I think in Martha's Vineyard is a smaller community, so everyone talks to each other. And the lobster is like a bigger community, and everyone's like either for each other or against each other somehow.
Mm-hmm. Did you do the same? Did your mother send you out on the lobster boats in the same way that she sent you out on the
Oh no, that
conch boats?
was on myself, because my mom let me. Basically, like 18, I started like taking over the business already. So
Really? How old was she at the time?
probably in the 50s.
And she kind of like took a step back?
I mean, she still ran the city part. I ran most of like the wholesale business.
The wholesale.
Yeah.
At that point, did you want to do it? Like, did you start to be like, oh, I'm going to enjoy this as a business?
I don't know. Yeah, 18. Like you go to school and you're like, when
Everyone's going to college.
Everyone's going to college. I went to college too, right? But it took me 7 years to graduate. But the first year you go to college, it's like you got to pick your major. Like no 18-year-old knows what to do.
Yeah.
But then by then she's like, you're gonna take over the business, right? I'm like, all right, like, and then if you just gotta change your mentality. If you have to do something, you just might as well be the best at it. So it kind of helps make you be better.
Yeah, absolutely. So the lobster people, the lobster fishermen, were the second group that you really kind of not went undercover, but you ingratiated. You got to know.
I got to know. When I took over the business, when I bought the business, there was like my pound manager, like it's like a lobster pound actually, that we can like hold lobsters in. The pound manager was like in his 60s, but taught me everything he know basically, and he, like,
That was your guy.
That was my guy. Like he was my mentor over there.
And sorry, what is a lobster pound exactly?
A lobster pound now is more about like you can hold lobsters.
Okay.
You can buy it like when in the beginning of the season, of any lobster season, there's like a gigantic influx of lobsters. Like the Canadian lobsters and the Maine lobster season is a little different. Canadian has like a certain time period you can open and close. It's a little bit more sustainable that way. So when they first open, like you have 100 boats that go out and they all catch a ton of lobsters in one day. So you have to like store them. So when you store them, that's like a lobster pound. Like
Got it.
You have an open pound where like you have a fence that closes off the ocean.
Yeah.
And you can dump lobsters in there.
The fishermen all sell to the lobster pound. So they are the middleman.
Yeah.
But then they also have to be able to hold all the lobsters.
Hold all the lobsters. Pay for the lobsters.
And also keep them organized.
Keep them organized. Keep them moving. Lobsters are perishable items. So you have a short time that you need to sell them.
So what was his name?
And Wilbur.
Is he still around?
No, he passed away.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And what was your relationship like with him?
Great.
Did he...
He smoked a lot of pot.
He smoked a lot of pot?
He smoked a lot of pot. He's like, there's other ways of smoking pot you never saw in the city. There's like a hot knife, like he'll burn weed on a knife.
Oh yeah, what's that called? Dabs?
Dabs. That's before that. He just put a bud on the knife and he'll blowtorch it till it turns red, and he'll stick it together and he'll smoke it. It's funny though.
Oh, he would. Yeah. So did he love you from right when you met him?
I think because we spoke as a seafood guy. You have to show respect to your elders. very respectful. So he saw who I am, and then taught me everything.
And what did you learn from him?
Oh, he fished for like 40 years before it became working on land, because in lobsters, either you work in the ocean or you work on land. So when you're younger, you want to go out and fish and make more money. And when your sea legs gives away, or like when your body is not capable of doing it, you work on land, because years of being in the ocean, your knees become like weak and stuff like that. So he'll tell me all the stories of, he can remember, 1973, that snowstorm, like we still went out. He'll tell stories like it was yesterday. And every fisherman in the lobster industry, they have a good story. But we'll sit in,
of course, because they've been through shit.
Yeah, we sit in a shed and we'll talk for hours and telling war stories and stuff. But you just kind of listen, absorb everything, and kind of like live your imagination through the stories.
So you guys eventually bought that Lobster Pound?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. So did Wilbur teach you... Sorry, let me just move this a tiny bit.
Sure.
Did Wilbur teach you how to negotiate with fishermen and stuff like that?
Oh, no.
No?
No.
What, really?
That's a skill set that you have to develop yourself.
Was there anything that really surprised... Like, did any part of the lobster game blow your mind when you were there?
How hard everybody really works.
Yeah.
And it's like, as a consumer, you're like, oh, great, we have a lobster on the menu, or we have a fish on menu. But then, even from a young kid, you understand how supply chain works. But the lobster is like a lot more delicate, because it has shorter shelf life, and you understand why things have to cost that much money. And you see the fishermen, whether it is 50 degrees or 70 degrees outside in a day, or negative 10 degrees, they still go out. Like, takes dedication.
Yeah. Amazing. So then once, what was next in the evolution of Aquavest?
We were exporting a lot of lobsters.
But were you really doing sort of conch and lobster?
In the beginning, yeah.
In the beginning, but just the two?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then as the conch supply came down, we just got out of it, and we just focused more on lobsters.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were really a lobster guy for a long time.
Yeah.
Okay. And how much did that business evolve, and did you start shipping everywhere in the world? And
yeah, I started shipping everywhere in the world. I think Asia was starting to have a boom, and I was one of the first people to ship lobsters to China and stuff like that. And we shipped a lot. We shipped a lot. We were working freaking year round.
And that was
days.
kind of what year?
2014 to 2019. Yeah.
Why did they want lobsters from here?
It's a luxury item, right?
And they don't have them there.
They don't have that. In Asia, where they grew up lobsters, it has no claws, which you see in Florida sometimes, or California. Those called spiny lobsters. So they grew up with that. And the lobster with the claw was a new item for them.
Okay, cool. Mm-hmm. And the claws are great.
The claws are great. It's lobster roll. Come on.
That's the thing. So now that market, obviously, there's more players.
Yeah, it's definitely more players. Yeah.
So you gotta, so you had a little period where you really found
I found a niche, and I was dominating a lot of that. Being able to speak both languages helps a lot. Understanding cultures, but
yeah.
Margins got smaller, and then we had the tariff come on, so that could put a damper on things. But then pandemic happened. So
did you see the writing on the wall that there was going to be more players in that world? And it's still profitable for you to ship lobsters to Asia, right?
Not as profitable.
But you still do it?
I still do it. Just, you have your customers that you need to do. You have legacy accounts or whatever. But you still have a responsibility with your fishermen that you work with for 10, 15 years, that their livelihood depends on selling it to you, so you have to take care of them as well.
Even if you're just breaking even.
Even if that's the nature of the game.
Interesting. Did you really go from being you were wow, I really found an amazing niche, to what the fuck am I doing? Was it that dramatic?
For pandemic?
No, with the lobster business.
With the lobster, yeah. I mean, with the tariff, it basically stopped all my exporting. Pre-COVID.
Yeah.
And then you have to reinvent yourself, and give you
Was that scary?
Oh, very scary. I mean, I'm born and raised in New York, so we went through 9/11. We went through the market crash and stuff like that. I mean, It's pretty bad. So.
This was a big market crash.
It was a
for
big
you.
market crash for me. So, but as a business person, you just gotta like put your head down and work, figure things out.
Was there a moment when you were pivoting away from lobster? Was there a first thing where you were like, oh, I can save this business? Because I imagine you were at one point like, am I going to be able to save this business, right?
Oh, it's many times in my life, like, changing from lobsters to fish, right? And then pandemics another time.
Right.
It's hard. The moment is, you realistically have a couple hours to think about what you need to do. It's not like you have months or days and stuff like that, because at the end of the week you have a payroll. You got to figure that out. I think it's more about just trying and not thinking about it. Like, oh shoot, my lobster business is going to go kaputs in a week. Like, what are you gonna do? You start like figuring out like, what can I sell? What has a margin in there?
Mm-hmm.
What can I realistically do? So I had to like rethink about what I did. I was younger, filleting fish, breaking down fish. I was like, maybe this is what I can do. So I had to relearn how to cut fish all over again.
But so what do you mean that was exciting? Like, I don't understand. You found margin in fish, in high quality fish that was already broken down?
Yes.
Okay.
Not broken down, that you have to break down yourself, because one, you have to control your quality. Two, buying directly from fishermen that you have direct connections to means you cut out the middleman. Cutting out the middleman will be, one, you get the best of the best, right? And two, they're making a little bit off the top, so you want to pass that savings along to your restaurants. Got
it. So you were cutting out the middle stage of people who would essentially the pound for big fish, where they would take it, break it down, and then sell it to you, and you're a distributor. Mm-hmm. So you got into the business of breaking down fish?
Yeah.
So now you have a facility where you break down a lot of fish?
Yep. My facility that was handling most of the lobsters, we converted to breaking down the fish. So I would say over 98% of all our fishes, or actually 99% of all our fishes, is hand broken down whole fish that we break down one by one, custom cuts.
And restaurants can give you specific cuts that they want?
Yes.
Okay. And so where did you find greater margin in bigger fish?
No, just better fish.
Better fish.
Better fish, because you want to find the best for your customers, right? And New York is, the epicenter of all your culinary stuff over here. Like, we need to be the best.
Okay.
It's really it's easy.
So how do you do that though? Like, does that mean that fishermen know that they'll send you 10% of their catch or something like that? Or does that mean you're only dealing with fishermen who catch the best stuff?
Both. I mean, it's a little bit of both, right? If you the fishermen that you've trained, or you say, hey, this is the quality that I want, and this is like the minimum, grade that I want, like, they're going to give that to you. Charge you a little premium. That's fine. You know what? But there's a lot less headache going forward, because I'm not going to get any returns from the chefs or have any quality issues. I'm just going to give them the best. And if your standard's just like there, everything else is easy. When you start playing around with, oh, this could be good, and that's when you fuck up. Right.
So in the end, how many lobsters were you buying in the peak of your niche, and then what are you buying? What are you doing now?
Peak of my niche, 250,000 pounds a week.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was a lot.
That's like, it seems like the heyday of like the Colombia drug trade or something like that.
Yeah, but people don't realize it's not a machine. Everything is handled one by one. Like, we hand scale everything. We lift every single box. We lift every single pound. It's a lot of work.
Crazy. And then now what do you do? How many do you eat lobsters?
Maybe about 80,000 pounds.
Okay. So that's still a lot of...
That's still great.
It's still great.
Yeah.
Still incredible. So would you say now, what now is your primary business?
Just all seafood, realistically. I've transitioned from just doing like one particular item very well to like many items very well. Like, go around the world and visiting farms, talking to fishermen that I still work with from along the East Coast, and I still have my lobster business. So I still talk to the fishermen, and giving that news or price points or like what's in season to the chefs. Like, you have that open communication and kind of like we're basically the back of the house for
Right.
the chefs. Like we got to help them out.
But you're primarily now a distribution company to American restaurants?
Yeah, American restaurant, mainly in New York City.
So that's the majority of your business now, is selling to New York restaurants?
Yes.
Cool. And do you still sometimes get lucky and find little niches? Like, will you find a city that really needs something that like you have special access to, and you can get lucky for a year? And
not really. I think it's
over?
more about like me making friends along the way, and then you visit somewhere, or you have a connection with a fisherman that has a friend fishing somewhere else, and you can find like cool ingredients. And that makes me happy, because then I can tell the chefs, hey, I found this. It's like really cool,
But the days of being the only guy selling lobster to Asia.
No way. It's internet changed everything. They get information quicker than we do.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So now you just have to be super knowledgeable, have great access, and make them, and be part of, in a sense, you're part of the kitchen team.
Oh, for sure. We're definitely part of the kitchen team.
What is your day-to-day now?
Day-to-day, like, I mean,
Everything?
Everything. It's like, you're a business person first, and seafood monger just the same time. So you got to combine it both. Like, we talk to all our suppliers. We talk to suppliers about pricing, what's coming in season, with my own knowledge of like what comes in season, and then time of the year where fish travels around and you kind of know where to go look for items. To looking at weather patterns, like right this weekend we got a snowstorm, so like we gotta like preemptively either buy slower, because restaurants business is slow. We want to keep things fresh. To making sure that if there's a shortage of this, we gotta like say, hey, we need a little bit more this week, so we can make sure our customers are like happy.
Is there any products that you could make a lot of money on, but morally you don't carry, or you think are too crappy or something like that?
No, I mean, if morally I can't do it, and if it's illegal, I just won't do it.
Not even legality, but like if a farm is not that nice, or the product's not that nice, but you have a huge demand for it.
Oh no, that's because your brand name's on there, your reputation's on there. I
Yeah.
think because I grew up in that industry, or that thinking, like your word is your bond, I can't do that.
So when you first pick up a lobster, like what are you looking for in the lobster?
Hardness, actually.
Yeah.
A lot of people will say, Maine soft lobsters. That to me is not like the best lobster. Yeah, it's easy to open with your hand, but it's not a lot of meat in there.
Okay.
So for me, it's more about there's a quality value of like a really full lobster that when you pay for it, you want to get what you have.
Right.
And full meat is what you really want. You're not drinking water from there. I want good meat.
But you and you understand. I mean, you can obviously, like, you speak lobster now. Like, you see a lobster, you know everything about it. And have you had to learn that now you've had to learn that now for every fish, right? Like, you have to pick up every product you have.
I think in general, because I've done with seafood all my life, I know.
Yeah.
Like the best way I explain like picking out a lobster would be like, you ever see like a parent or like an older grandma picking out a fruit, like they're looking at it and you're like, what the hell are they looking at? Like, they know something. It's like how heavy it is, how ripe it is. It's like literally the same thing.
Yeah. And then has it been hard to learn that for every other fish?
No, it's like you can tell fresh fish pretty easily, like eyeballs, gills. I don't really look at gills as often as just eyeballs, and like kind of like looking at the sheen of the fish and stuff like that.
What's been a unique product that's taken, and has anything been more challenging for you to kind of understand varying quality of?
Not quite. No, I think at this stage in my career, I think I know, hopefully I know a lot, like, but I do love learning, like, about, like, if I travel to Europe and I'm not familiar with the fish, like, stuff that's not familiar with me, like, from a local region, I would love to learn about it, and I'll be the first to admit, like, I talk to the fish, I don't know anything about this, tell me everything you know, tell me how you cook it, tell me how your mom cook it, tell me how your grandma cook it, and tell me what's the traditional dishes. And then this way, I just absorb all this information and put it in my database.
Yeah.
And like, if I have a chef that comes into the city, it's like, I grew up from this town. I don't want to recreate this dish it just comes out. Like if I can't bring that product in for them, then at least I know, and I tasted it before. I was like, you know what, you should use this as a replacement. That's sort of like talking to a fishmonger kind of helps.
So in terms of like predicting market trends, I mean, obviously sea urchin is huge, is a huge product, uni. When you first started seeing it pop up in American restaurants, can you talk about like what your trajectory was with something like that? Would you think to yourself, this is a market that I want to get into, I'm going to learn everything about it, or I'm going to start like ramping up my distribution of sea urchin? Or do you wait until like demand is high? How does that work?
No, I don't want to wait behind and wait for others to create the trend. I rather create the trend myself. But working with like really experimental chefs, or like chef forward chefs that would be like, you know what, this could be good. And when they described the dish to me, like, oh, it could work, And then I said, all right, I can get this for you. Or, you have Maine uni, you got like Santa Barbara uni, you got Hokkaido uni. And I've eaten uni in like Europe, all over the world too. It's like they have different tastes to them, obviously. But, I think most people don't realize like seafood have a short shelf life, and you want to keep it as fresh and as pristine as possible. So you just don't buy a lot and try to push it. I asked the chef approximately how much you will need, and then I will try to source exactly what they need and just a tad bit more,
Do you remember when sea urchin started to get the demand for sea urchin started to explode in America?
Oh yeah, I think when all your omakase starts popping up. I mean, there's so many omakases now. Everyone's using sea urchin.
I'm an idiot, but it seems to me a year or two before Jiro Dreams of Sushi, whenever that was.
Yeah.
So that was, I guess, 2010, 11. 2012 maybe.
11. Whatever. Yeah.
So when you first started seeing sea urchin, like on, I guess Instagram wasn't big, like what was sea urchin is just interesting to me because I like it. I've been around it a lot. What was your first indication that was like gonna be a big product?
I think when not just high-end restaurants starts carrying them. I think when when TV is very popular, obviously when your cooking shows are popular, they start using that, people get intrigued about that. And the first time someone eats it, you're like, either you really love it, or you don't. And then when you love it, it's something you can't be mimicked, right? So I think that's like very unique. Some fishes can be similar, if you want to call it, but uni, no, it's great.
Could you talk about, are there other ingredients where the demand has dramatically changed in the last sort of 15, 20 years, and how that your business, like how you've made moves to adapt to that?
Like farm fish, like Branzino now has been a big, it's in everybody's menu because one, you can get consistent size and consistent quality out of it, right? A lot of people like wild fish. I understand it's great, but I think farm fish is just as good,
Okay.
So that's a big shift in just finding wild fish to like, having a portion of your product list having farm stuff.
So in terms of being a salesman, like how do you establish a good relationship with a chef beyond in terms of like pricing, and is that where it starts to get really competitive in the market? Like, I
mean, if anyone can do what price, I mean, you can find the worst ingredient and worst fish, and you be cheap. Like I don't want to build my reputation.
So is it very rare that you would be offering the exact same product from the exact same place as another distributor?
What do you mean? Like, let's just say.
So like Branzino, you said, is really big right now from Farm Branzino. Where's it coming from?
Like Spain.
So it's, would your goal would be to have the best farmed Branzino, and therefore you'd never be competing one-on-one against another distributor with that Branzino, right? Like you'd be like, if you want to come to me, I have this Branzino from this place, and they would say, I have this Branzino from this place.
It kind of was a little weird. Like, fish farms obviously all over the world, but competing on prices is a never-ending game. Everybody have to be within a certain range, right? I'm not saying my Branzino's $5 more or something like that, but it's more like I can get it consistently fresher. I can deliver to you consistently every single day.
Mm-hmm.
I have the product for you, and I will do the custom cuts for you. And if there's any issue, I'm here to take care of it, right? So it's about reliability and quality,
Yeah.
and service, because you're not. My thing is, I never want a chef to 86 anything. Like,
Got it.
it's just like we had to think from the consumer's point of view to the chef's point of view to my point of view. Is like, you're not going to go there after like a month of reservation. I don't have a fish.
Got it. So that's your value add.
My
in
service.
other words,
Yeah.
your service. So do you ever, and I know you never like to speak ill of anyone, of any other distributors or anything like that, of course. But does it ever happen that a chef, like when sometimes newer restaurants will pop up and the chef will say like, or you won't even hear from them, but they're getting it from somewhere else and saving like a couple bucks.
Mm-hmm.
Does that happen sometimes? And then do they end up coming back to you because you're...
Oh yeah, I mean, like, you can save some here and there, but we're here for the long run. Like, I'm doing business with you day in, day out.
Mm-hmm.
12 months out of the year. If price is just an issue, like, it could be a lot of things. Your boss is giving you, like, I need to cut my food costs down. Maybe I don't have that exact same quality that someone else is, like a frozen item where I'm giving you a fresh item. It's apples to oranges, it's not apple to apples. You have to also think about it, like, if that person's delivering you at like 3 p.m. but your prep staff is like 4 people times how many hours you just wasted. Like, you literally not thinking about, if you're looking at the books by yourself and not really just a relationship and kind of like all the perks that I give you, then it's hard to.
But you won't sell that, right? Like, you'll allow them to come to that realization?
Yeah, I mean, we're all business people and ask, hey, what's going on,
Yeah.
And if it's about a price issue, then it could be like, are you only giving me one item and it takes 30 minutes to make a delivery? Like, everybody has a cost, or a labor cost nowadays.
So is that, what's it like? What's distribution like with all the trucks and everything? Like,
horrible. horrible. New York City gives you tickets everywhere, obviously.
What are you paying in tickets a year?
Tens and tens of thousands. It's a lot of tickets. You try to cut through like bus lanes, and not bus lanes, but like, you could double park. A restaurant wants it by 9 o'clock in the morning. There's no parking within like 3 blocks. Like, what do? You park either 3 blocks away, you go double park and run in and run out.
Gotta think about the money.
That 3 minutes is done.
Yeah.
It's really hard.
How much of your time is spent on, what does Amazon call it, the last mile or something?
Freaking a lot. It's a lot. To be able to provide a good service costs money, and you want to do the best you can. Want to be reliable, and that last mile delivery where after you butcher the fish to that is always like 40% of your cost. Wow.
Yeah. Holy shit. How many trucks do you have now?
Like 10, 11 trucks.
Yeah.
But like, when you order stuff from Amazon, you get used to be like, it has to be that quick. You expect me to do the same thing. It's a difficult thing sometimes.
And how do you figure out truck routing? And
you can only figure it out by actually doing a route yourself.
Yeah.
I go on a route myself all the time, and I drive in the city. I'm born here, so I know all like the nooks and crannies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So like, you drive your way around. You're like, okay, you should make this route. You should make this route, or like, and then you have to have people with, if this restaurant staffing comes in at 8 o'clock, try to get there early. This restaurant comes in at 12 o'clock, you get a little bit later. So it's a lot of like Tetris moving around.
See, there's like 9 different businesses that you have to run, basically.
Yeah.
Like, you almost have to run your own Uber.
Oh, I use a lot of Ubers.
You do?
I do a tons of Ubers. Chef calls me like at 2 o'clock. Oh, I forgot to order, or I have extra covers today, and that's a service that I provide too. Like, if you buy from me,
They call you directly.
Yeah. like, the way most restaurants or most distributors go is you have to email that at night, because then for us, like, if we're missing something, we have to go to the phone market and buy it, break down the fish, and make it on time for the early delivery. And then you as a chef,
Sometimes you'll go buy the fish from the market.
I have to sometimes, yeah. Like one-off items, I will have to do it. But sometimes, like, you wake up in the morning, you say, oh, I got extra 30 coverage, but I put my email in yesterday. What I'm going to do, I'm not going to, like, not serve my customers.
Got it.
So they call me, and then I'll break down the fish at my shop. And then if I can have another truck, I'll send it out. If not, if they call me, like, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I just had another party of, like, 20 top.
Yeah.
I got to do it.
Put the
and
fish in an Uber.
I'll Uber until, like, 6 p.m., and that's it. That's my cutoff. Like,
wow. That's crazy. So what, like, you told me, like, you said some days you're still working like a crazy person.
Yeah.
What do you, when you're doing 18-hour, you said you're still doing some 18-hour days?
Of course.
What are you doing for those days? Like, you're breaking down, or you're like, you're not breaking down fish probably for those 18 hours, but what?
Not every day, but I will break down.
You need to be able to plug any hole.
As an owner, you plug in any hole. Like, I'm a fish cutter too. Like, I'll pack my lobsters, I'll break down fish, I will pick up stuff from terminals. I used to drive a lot, and I will go pick up product myself too. But between emails, buying stuff from different parts of the world, so it's different time zones. You have to be up. You have to do this, AR, AP, everything. You name it, you do it.
What's some ridiculous late night shit you've done recently?
I mean, even last week, this week, what day is today?
Thursday.
There's Thursday, like beginning of the week. You wake up 3 o'clock in the morning. You got to do some buys. Check all your emails.
Yeah.
Chefs still text me sometimes. You put that order in, make sure your guys are in, and then by 6 a.m. you're definitely out the door or whatever, and you have to go to the shop and make sure that all the orders are set. And I work at my retail shop with chefs and stuff. Like, I work until 6 p.m. Finish that, and I go to my warehouse to receive lobsters, and I have to pack out lobsters for export until I finish at 2 in the morning.
Holy shit. Is your mom still around?
Yeah,
she is.
She is. She's retired. But she's at home now. So.
What does she think about the biz?
She lets me do it now, or she lets me and my brother do it now.
Does she ever say good job?
I mean, she gives you the nod, You know how it is. I don't know. It's an Asian family.
It's different. Mine's completely the opposite.
Really?
Yeah, everything's great. Whatever I'd done, I could build a Lego house out of with 3 pieces of Lego, and she could say it's a beautiful mansion.
No, I think mine's is like, at least from my culture, it'd be like they give you the nod and you just understand. You did a good job. That's good. That's
amazing. So, are there any other, like, little last thing? I guess, like, from running one of the biggest seafood distributors, are there any other things that people wouldn't know about the business? Like, are there any other major hiccups you deal with?
Major hiccups? Like, this weekend has a snowstorm. Like, you have to predict that. I have to keep my product fresh. I don't think people realize how hard is it to predict what a restaurant wants, to keep it in stock, and to keep it fresh with the same price to get to them, so you can have the best product ever
and make them feel like it's a seamless experience.
Exactly.
How often will you pass on, if you have deep, crazy frustrations with something, how often will you tell the restaurant, this was a huge pain in the ass because of this, this, and this?
Never.
Keep it to yourself. Do you show up, like, do you have any stories of that where you've dropped off something and they've been like, thanks, man, and the last 5 days you've been running around the world trying to find it?
Nope, you do it with a smile. That's what it is. You do it with a smile. They don't want to care about your stuff. They have a million stuff that they have to worry about. Your stuff is just to get them to them, so they can make their enjoyable experience for their customers.
Absolutely. Do you have any, like, has it ever happened where you've promised something and then shit's fallen apart and you've had to go, like, move mountains to get it?
Oh, yeah. And then if you can't really do it, like, just be a man and be like, chef, I fucked up. I can't do it, or something like that.
What's the craziest adventure you've gone on to fulfill something?
I mean, like, I think last year, Valentine's Day, there was a shortage of like uni, and I ran out of all the uni, and then I missed the shipment. The airplane didn't arrive in time, and it's Valentine's Day, so you need it for that day. So what you do is you call up every single vendor that you have, whether it's friends or competitors, it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
You suck it up, you figure out, you overpay, it doesn't matter, but you still have to deliver the price that you promise, even if you lose money.
Interesting.
And that's just like service. That's what it is.
Huh. And you've had to do that a lot?
Certain circumstances you have to do. I hopefully not to do a lot, you lose a lot of money, but you know, a promise is a promise, right?
Yeah. When not that they're enemies, but when competitors get a call from you, do you think it makes them smile?
Yeah, of course. But then like I have competitors call me for products too, you know, like you have to be friendly.
What's that call sound like?
Hey, sorry to bother you, but I'm missing some items today. Do you have anything like that? And then
Will they be like, I guess you got fucked, huh?
remember what you do to others, they're gonna do to you. So I try not to do that to them, but you know, there's always like friendly banter a little bit.
Yeah, they'll give you some shit.
Yeah, they'll give you some shit. Be like, I mean, look at you now, right? So,
will they be like, Delta 171, eh?
oh, we do that to each other. Be like, oh, you're delivering to who? Oh, I could deliver for you. Don't worry
that's
about
funny.
that. You know?
Will they ever know the flight that got fucked up? Will they ever be like, I guess you had some shit on that DHL?
Sometimes they do. But like a lot of times, like if you have like one flight out of Japan, like everyone gets fucked.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just like how much can you maneuver? How much product you have to like fulfill that product. That's funny.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much. Anything anything else?
No, I mean, whatever you want to know. One thing, farm fish is not that bad. You know, I gotta tell you that, because then a lot of people are like, oh, I want to eat wild, and it kind of like drives me crazy sometimes. And like if everybody ate wild salmon in the world, we're gonna have no more salmon.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That'll be your next T-shirt.
Yeah.
Eat farmed fish.
No, it's just like eat everything.
Eat everything.
Eat everything.
All right, sir. Thank you so much.
All right, man.
Appreciate your time.
All right.
Let's get the fuck out of here.
All right.